Welcome to today's weekly commentary. I'm doing it this morning. So here are the major things we'll be focusing on. One is the forecast across major pairs, the code report, and some major geopolitical events that will be happening within this week. So the first one we'll be looking at is good. On good from daily or from 4-hour time frame, which we'll be using here. We understand the market is what bullish. Now, why am I bullish in terms of technical analysis? I'll be using technical and fundamental analysis on good. So we'll be taking it one at a time. So on the technical part of the market, we understand the market gives us what is smart money footprint, which is the type of movement down right here before a major reversal. And we have a displacement or a momentum shift to the buy side, which is this right here, this strong bullish candle, which was caused by news, right? But at the same time, it's a momentum movement. Since we have this momentum movement to the upside right here, after that we'll have some range structure. Now, what do I call it range structure? One market is what? Trending to the upside, but the momentum is not that obvious, something like this, right? Or structure that is created outside a major structure range that is ranging to the downside or ranging to the upside without much momentum. So that is what we're having here. So we have liquidity right here. So that means we expect market to drop deeply into this range, at least into the support level, before we'll be looking for a buy within any of these zones. But the major area I'm expecting a buy is this lower price and this low upper level. The whole of this range is what I call a proportion block. So I'm expecting a buy program from this level. So that's the first thing I'm expecting on price. On from the code report side, right here we have good community exchange, that is the code report on good. So as of last week, we understand that they closed last 2 weeks, they closed about 3,000 long position. But this week they added 10,000 long position. So you see right here from this week, and this week, there weren't consistency, right? So we went from 213 to 253, which shows that market is fully bullish. At that point, what was happening on gold, we were what bullish, which is this level right here, which is what caused this movement outside right here. But at the current moment, we understand they added what some short position right here, which is also affecting price here a little, or what is currently affecting price currently now. Though I was expecting it to start happening last week, but it didn't start happening earlier. So my expectation was kind of like a short buy, this support level, or sorry, this resistance level, hit it around somewhere here, and start dropping, let's say from Thursday or Wednesday. So I was expecting this buy to get to this area like Monday, Tuesday, form the high of the week around here, then drop. But it didn't happen like that. So market wasted some time before giving us this drop movement right here. So this week, I'm expecting what drop movement on gold the more compared to last week. So I'm expecting market to drop more before we'll be looking forward buy program for this week. So from the code report, we understand that gold will likely give us some pullback. And the pullback, where can that pullback likely happen? We can expect two things from the price. Pullback can happen at the support level right here for a short-term pullback before we expect a drop movement before short-term buy program continuation to the upside because of the geopolitical event happening across the world. So this is the major view on gold. So let's look at other pairs like EURUSD or GBP. So here we have EURUSD. On EURUSD, we see how price has given us a buy program. Earlier on, from the outlook I gave, I was expecting a sell probably around here, but the sell did not happen around there. So currently, we are seeing price giving us a consolidation around here. And with this idea of consolidation that market is giving us, that means we can expect what? Manipulation to the upside or a complete reversal, all right? A complete reversal to the downside, at least to trade into this major range. this major range because there's no major pullback yet. And these two lows has given us what we call week-to-week mitigation. So that means there's a complete mitigation between these two lows. So we need what? A complete or a deep retracement in these two structure range. Now, it might not likely get to this week of it. It might get to this particular candle before the buy continue, or it can get to this weaker level. But if market has more momentum, then we can go deeper and induce two of them, even this level, before we can see a possible lower low on price. All right. So that means there are two things I'm expecting. Since this will have this break of structure right here, I'm expecting what? If news, a major important news came out, they come out this week, I'm going to say, we can have what? The news pushing price up. But without that major news, I'm expecting market what? To drop lower for this lower level, even if possible, make a lower low. Now, that's what I'm expecting. Now, but the reason why I'm expecting a short manipulation with news is because of the code report. So let's just today's weekly commentary since today's Monday. So let's just use code report alongside technical analysis. On the code report side, which is on Arrow, right here we understand that as of last week they added extra 5,000 short position. So what is this telling us? Overall, what market is telling us is that what Arrow is bullish. That means buyers are bigger than all. The buy contract is more than the sell contract. Overall, we are bullish. But this shows that we are still what in retracement phase. That means we are still selling in terms of the retracement phase. And that's what market is also telling us right here. So one from 128K, 125K to 123K and to 115K. In the last 3 months, or in the last 3 weeks or last 4 weeks, we have a consistent drop in net position. Now, I'm not talking about overall in terms of last 3 months. In terms of the net position or the average of the net position in the last 3 months, market is still what much bullish. That means market is still what buying. That means we overall bullish in the last 3 months. That means we can still see higher prices. All right, especially when there is what some type of this spark movement, which I explained then, that once we have this type of spark movement, that means we'll be expecting what a deep retracement in price. All right, a deep retracement in price, and that is when market gave us this movement right here, this bullish movement right here. The only thing is that it didn't start happening on time until it used the news to make such movement. So coming back to the code report, so having this and a little spark right here with this, because there's too much volume right here. So if it was like, let's say 3,000, no much difference from this. So I would have expected no spark or nothing like that at all. So, but since there's what a high volume like this, so what can happen in the market is that we can have short-term trigger. Now, the trigger I meant is we have a short-term bullish movement right here before a drop in price. That's kind of like a manipulation. So overall, I'm bearish for the week, but we can have a short-term trigger to the upside before bearish movement. And with the current tariff that is happening, we can see the price dropping even lower. But we can see some news, let's say from the CPI news coming on the USD side, affecting price upward before a sharp drop the downside. But overall, I'm bearish on EURUSD. So this is one of the major move I'm expecting for this week on EURUSD. So let's look at another page. Since we didn't do this weekly commentary as of yesterday, so I will only be looking at 3 pairs for this weekly outlook or forecast, which is EURUSD, Gold, and GBPUSD. So looking at GBPUSD, we understand that overall the trend is bearish. So we have a higher high right here, higher low, higher high, then a lower low right here. A lower high, we can see some range structure to the downside right here. So this means market is still overall bearish. And with the current tariff happening, this can strengthen USD. But overall, in terms of the code report, USD is not super strong to kind of like for us to expect much from USD. At the same time, all these other pairs are not also super strong. So we go back and look at the code report on GPB. So from the code report, we understand on GPB, we went from what 29 or from 33 to 29, 500 to minus 12,000 to minus 33,000. There's what a huge gap right here. So what is this telling us? This is telling us that what GPB will be becoming weaker. GPB will be becoming weaker, which I will also give my updates. I will also analyze these pairs and send across my platform this week. So I'm expecting what some huge drop on across these pairs. So as I drop the message on the outlook, don't forget to also watch this weekly commentary. And I will also remind you all so that you understand the reason I'm expecting the sell. And if there's what a high impact news that can push price up first before the sell happens, so that you will trade it with carefulness. All right. So these are what I'm expecting across these major pairs. I'm expecting what sell on GBPUSD. So around here we have a short-term consolidation right here, and on lower time frame I also have a short-term consolidation around here. So with that in mind, I'm expecting what drop movement in price into these two lows. So these are my expectation across these major pairs. This is the news we have for this week. On Monday, we have no major news. Tuesday, we have this, which is on AUD, their own monetary policy. This is an major important news you can watch out for. Know if the currency will be strengthening even with that report or not. Now, we also have another one on USD, which is CPI. This is another major important news. We can strengthen or weaken USD. So if that would weaken USD, we can see some high prices. But if that's strengthening it, we can see some lower prices. So this is one of the major news we can watch out for. Then we also have other news. The same thing, PI, another important news. Right. So another major news we can look at is this FOMC news. Though it's a low news, but we can look at it in terms of the monetary policy. If they make any comment relating to what monetary policy, this is one of it. Another one which we can look at is the one right here. FOMC member, this also in terms of the monetary policy. So you can look at this news if they come out to see if they would actually affect the market positively or negatively. So we also have this news right here. So these are the major news we have for this week that can affect market positively or negatively. So that is all for today's weekly outlook. So good luck and good trading to you all. See you guys in our next outlook.